by Councillor Kotick, seconded by Councillor Ruff, resolved that the regular meeting commence at the hour of 7:03. And be it further resolved that council acknowledges that we are meeting in the Robinson Superior Treaty area on lands that have been traditionally used by several Indigenous nations, but we would like to pay special recognition to our closest Indigenous neighbors, the community of Bigdigon Nishnawbek and Nimizigamik Nishnawbek First Nations. We wish to recognize the long history of the First Nations and Métis people in our region specifically and show respect to them today. All in favor? Carried. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? No? Any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Approval of the agenda. Moved by Councillor Ruff, second by Councillor Kotick, resolved that the agenda be approved as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Any delegations, presentations? No. Adoption of the minutes. Moved by Councillor Ruff, seconded by Councillor Kotick, resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting held November 27th, 2025 are adopted as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Okay, petitions, respondents, reports, verbal update. For my verbal update, I guess the last time I mentioned this, the video didn't work, but I would like to say for the people that are walking on the streets late at night, early in the morning, can you please walk on the left side of the road and wear reflective gear? Because it's yeah, it's very dark out there, especially this time of year. And we don't want anybody to get hurt. So and then other than that, I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because we won't have another meeting till after the New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, through the chair. Just a reminder that nominations for the 2025 Citizen of the Year are now open. The deadline for that is January 5th. You can submit those applications to programmer@managewatch.ca or drop them off at the township office. And then we ask you to include as many details as you can about your nominee and why you think that they're deserving of that award. And lastly, being the last regular meeting of the 2025 year, I'd like to wish everyone a safe and happy holiday on behalf of all the staff of the township.
Thank you. Okay, over to business. Moved by Councillor Kotick, seconded by Councillor Ruff, resolved that the council is in receipt of administration report FD 2025-08 submitted by Tiffany Lidster, Deputy Fire Chief, regarding the Fire Department monthly report, November 2025. Welcome, Tiffany.
So through the chair, so just continued our update. We still have our 7 firefighters working towards their firefighter 1 and the 9 firefighters working towards their firefighter 2. There are the other various courses going on for the members as well, like the fire instructor 1 and 2, public information, and the fire and life safety public education. Our training this past month, focused on standard incident reports. So it is a firefighter 2 skill that all firefighters are aware how to successfully complete standard incident reports to the Ontario Fire Marshal's Office. As well as we did tactical ventilation, which includes multiple skills. So it includes your ground ladders, roof ladders, both horizontal and vertical ventilation. So those skills were completed with the department, and that was also required sign off for the instructor 2 course that was conducted by one of the members. Call volumes, we had 4 calls over November. So 1 was a human received emergency. There wasn't an actual emergency, but we still respond. We had a false alarm for CO, which turned out to be a faulty alarm. We had an actual carbon monoxide incident, and then we had another chimney fire, but that was extinguished upon our arrival. Public education, we were also quite busy throughout November. So we had the public school grade 5-6 class come to do a hall visit. We attended the community engagement night with the bonfire, as well as a public education table. And then we are also at the Christmas market with the lithium-ion batteries again, as well as the new code law that's coming into effect January 1st for carbon monoxide alarms. So there is an update. We will be doing a mail drop, so we're asking everyone to keep an eye out for that this month so that everybody's prepared and ready to go for the January 1st requirement. Correspondence, so at the last meeting, we had reviewed, but we were successful in our Fire Smart Community Implementation Grant for the 2025-2026 program.
Thank you. Any questions?
Through the chair, just one. So for the recall, the department here itself is able to do the testing to see if they are faulty?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was the process from the manufacturer that was supplied to the supplier where we purchased them, which was M&L Supply. And they have already forwarded us the documentation as a step-by-step process. It just requires this pin gauge for depth to find out for the valve if it's seated properly for the depth that it needs to be. So once we receive that, we will go through and test all of them, and if any of the valves are found to not be within a specified range on that pin gauge, then that valve will need to be replaced. So late this fall was, we did have M&L Supply up, and we're required to have an annual test done on all the packs, and everything was conducted and it all passed. This is just something that was found faulty, as we know with recalls. Sometimes depending on the severity, it may only be a small handful. So a small handful of valves may have malfunctions, so then they'll do a widespread recall on them. So once that pin gauge comes, we'll have step-by-step instructions on how to just test all of them, and they will come and replace any that we find.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and further that council receives the deputy fire chief's monthly report as presented. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Conick, seconded by Councillor Rupp, resolved that council is in receipt of administration report admin 2025-13 submitted by Chelsea Keogh, executive assistant regarding the 2026 regular council meeting schedule and acting mayor schedule.
Thank you, through the chair. This report outlines the 2026 regular council meeting schedule and the acting mayor rotation. Meetings will follow the usual pattern of the second and fourth Wednesday, except for July, August, and December, when only one meeting will be held. The second meeting in April is omitted due to the NOMA conference, and a special meeting will be held if necessary. And the acting mayor rotation will continue on a 3-month basis.
Thank you. Any questions on that subject? Okay. And further that council accepts the 2026 regular council meeting schedule and acting mayor schedule as presented. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Ruff, second by Councillor Conick, resolved that council is in receipt of administration report admin 2025-14 submitted by Chelsea Keogh, executive assistance regarding the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing application for consent.
Thank you, through the chair. So this report addresses a consent application under the Planning Act. The proposal involved a minor lot addition on Brook Street, severing a small triangular piece of land from one residential parcel and adding it to another. Both lots are already developed and serviced, and the adjustment simply aligns the legal property line with the existing understanding of ownership. So this is an administrative boundary adjustment with no impact on neighborhood character, servicing, or infrastructure.
Any questions? So, thank you very much. Okay, and further that council recommends consent be given and authorize staff to proceed with the consent and provide notice to the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Ruff, second by Councillor Conick, resolved that council is in receipt of administration report Admin 2025-15 submitted by Jolene Keel, CAO clerk, regarding the declaration of council vacancy and selection of procedure to fill the vacancy.
Thank you, through the chair.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
As council's aware, Councillor Keough stepped down from his seat, giving notice of last date being November 30th. So council is now required to declare the seat vacant and choose a method to fill that vacancy. Council did pass a council vacancy policy, and which outlines three different ways and methods that could be chosen. So appointment of previous election candidate, open call for applications for appointment, and by election. This application process, the individual would be sitting for the remainder of the 2026 council term. The next council election is October 26, 2026. And so these options are presented for your consideration.
Okay. Yeah, that would basically be for almost a 1-year term,
Correct.
roughly. Yeah, okay. Any questions or comments?
Through the chair, I think, the open call for applications is the way to go. We lucked out last time, so maybe we'll do just as well this time.
Okay.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair, I was thinking we just go with the open call for applications for appointment. It's a simple, straightforward process. It works out well. I do have a question though. So in the acting mayor schedule right now, I think September to November is marked as blank. Will that be adjusted depending on if we appoint the council? I think will we be bringing the acting mayor schedule back, or do they just go September to November?
From September to when, sorry?
November, I think.
I think actually it goes in alphabetical order, right?
Yeah,
Yes, it typically goes in alphabetical
Yeah.
order. When we do have somebody who's not available, then we will open that up to the other members that wish to, you know, sit in that seat, but we definitely bring that back once we do have another member.
I'm just wondering how that would impact the acting mayor, I suppose, if we got a new councillor, right? Like if that.
They would be added to the acting mayor schedule, yes,
Would that be in alphabetical order?
if council so chose.
Well, they need to do it councillor, right?
It's not
They get
required-
the.
it's not required to be in alphabetical order, we just do it that way to make it easier, but we can bring back acting mayor schedule.
Cause in my mind, if they're a new member of council, they get hit January, February, April, and then they get acting mayor status right then and there, their first like foray into council. That's a bit much, right?
So good point,
Trial by fire.
good point.
So
So,
leaving it as is, which is September, November, might be better for a new member of council
yeah, so putting them in the,
In the vacancy.
towards the end, yeah.
very good. I like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And your thought, Councillor?
Through the chair. I agree with the idea of doing. The application process, just by process of elimination. I don't love the idea of council appointing half of council. But it is my understanding that by-elections are expensive. And I don't want to put that burden on our budget for a 1-year term. Yeah, so I think. The
Okay.
application process is the way to go.
Well, I would say yes, and unanimously. Open call for application for appointment. Yeah, it's. Like you said, it worked last time and it is, you know, the cheapest way to go.
And if I may, just to speak to the public, if you may be listening, we would be advertising that tomorrow, to open up the nomination period. And we will extend it for a 4-week period because we do have the Christmas, holiday closure coming up and people are busy. So we will leave it open until January. And then, we will have we'll post this, where is it here? Sorry. January 7th would be the application deadline, but of course, we'll share all that information so everyone's aware.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so and further that council hereby declares the seat of one councillor to be vacant. Pursuant to the Municipal Act 2001, and further that council approves the following method under the council vacancy policy to select a candidate to fill the vacancy, which is, I'm going to check that off, open call for application for appointment. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Moved by Counselor Coddick, second by Counselor Ruff, resolved that council is in receipt of administration report ENF 2025-02 submitted by Marcel Demars, manager of bylaw and airport services, regarding the appointment of James Ray as property standard officer and inspector for the corporation of the township of Manitowoc.
Yeah,
Welcome.
good evening. Through the chair, would like to appoint our bylaw officer, James Ray, as the property standard officer to be able to enforce the Manitowoc property standard, and also appoint him as an inspector under the RTA to be able to enforce the RTA under the property standard of Manitowoc, because in 2018, the RTA was downloaded to the municipality to enforce the Residential Tenancy Act.
Okay, RTA stands for,
Residential Tenancy Act.
thank you. Any questions, concerns? Comments? That sounds good. Okay, and further that council appoints James Ray, property standards officer for the corporation of the township of Manitowoc, and to appoint James Ray inspector for the purpose of enforcing the prescribed maintenance standard contained in Ontario Regulation 517/06 under the Residential Tenancy Act 2006 SO 2006 C17 for the township of Manitowoc. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Moved by Counselor Coddick, second by Counselor Ruff, resolved that council is in receipt of administration report ENF 2025-03 submitted by Marcel Demars, manager of bylaw and airport services, regarding the appointment of Marcel Demars and James Ray as weed inspectors for the corporation of the township of Manitowoc.
Yeah, through the chair for myself and James Ray, the weed inspector, the weed act says that if the township does not appoint a weed inspector for the obnoxious weed, they will provide an inspector, and then they will come to the township and they will do the enforcement. So therefore, and will charge us. So therefore, we have to appoint an inspector under the Weed Act, so to enforce the noxious weed in the township of Manitowoc.
Okay, any questions, concerns?
Through the chair, could you please explain to us and to the public what exactly this is?
So you got one of them is the hogweed. So it's all the noxious weed that is under the act that we have to, and most of it is done by complaint. So somebody will complain about someone's got a noxious weeds in the backyard, then we have to go and inspect to make sure that it is a bad weed, and then we have to get them to remove it. The act also says that people has to do it by themselves. Like if there's a bad weed in somebody's backyard, they have to remove it, otherwise they can be charged. But also, the township has to appoint an inspector, and once we get appointed, the CEO will have to provide our name to the chief inspector for the province of Ontario. So he knows that we are appointed, and then we have to go through a course to learn about which obnoxious weed they are and how do we do the enforcement.
Thank you. Because you have another question, please proceed.
So is it just like in residents' yard, or like if you see them, say you're like walking on a trail around town or
It's-
something like that? It's just to get a hold of you and say they're there
This is within the municipality.
within the municipality?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, concerns?
No, Kathy asked all the ones I was gonna say.
Okay, yes. I'm very glad you clarified.
That's got nothing to do with marijuana.
Okay, see, yes, because people could have construed that incorrectly. Okay, thank you.
That's why I asked.
Because I was going to. And further, that council appoints Marcel Demars and James Ray as weed inspectors for the corporation of the township of Manitowoc. All in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
Okay. Moved by Councillor Ruff, second by Councillor Conick, resolved that council is in receipt of correspondence from the District of Thunder Bay Social Services Administration Board regarding the endorsement of the District of Thunder Bay Social Services Administration Board's 2026 Roma Conference Briefing Package.
Sure, thank you through the chair. So we receive this annually from the Thunder Bay Social Services Administration Board. And this is their position paper that they want to present to Roma in their briefing package, and they're asking for council support and endorsement in this package to be presented to Roma.
Okay, any questions? Okay, just to clarify that, yes, I am on that board as per meeting on Thursday, and also when they do get delegations at Roma, I participate as long as I'm not in another delegation for the township. So I completely support this. And okay, and further that council for the township of Manitowoc endorses the District of Thunder Bay Social Service Administration Board 2026 Roma Conference Briefing Package. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Conick, second by Councillor Ruff, resolved that the 2026 Thunder Bay District Municipal League Annual General Meeting and Conference is scheduled to be held March 5th to March 6th, 2026 in Nipigon, Ontario. So this is, everyone is invited to go. So do you want to fill that up? Okay. You can start with myself.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk.
Okay, ready? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Everybody's going. And that would also be open to the new councillor
Correct.
coming up. Okay. So maybe put +1 on the bottom or something. Okay. Okay, and further that the following council and or staff members will attend. Mayor Moffat, Councillor Hudson, Councillor Coddick, Councillor Ruff, Jolene Keel, CAO, and plus additional councillor who comes on board. All in favor? Carried. Okay, moved by Councillor Hudson, second by Councillor Coddick. Resolved that the 2026 Good Roads Conference is scheduled to be held March 29th to April 1st in Toronto. That has different stipulation than Mugo was correct.
Correct. So the mayor may attend, one member of council. So again, you know, council tries to rotate their attendance to the conferences that they go to down south. And we typically open this one up to the director of public works because it is more than we have support to the conference.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll be down. I will attend. Anyone else?
You,
I won't be able to go.
yeah, I can't do it.
Okay.
Remember my rotations.
Toronto for me.
Okay, so we will.
So what we could do,
check with
sorry,
that.
through the chair is we can sign a member of council. And when we have the new council member come in, we can ask if they're able to attend, and if not, then we typically open up to the CAO to attend on their meeting.
Okay. Perfect.
Mayor Moffat. Yeah. Council member. And director of public. Yes. Thank you.
I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Conference. Perfect, thank you. And further that the following council and or staff member will attend, Mayor Moffat, a council member and Director of Public Works, all in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Hudson, second by Councillor Cottick. Resolved that the 2026 Northwestern Ontario Municipal Association, NOMA, annual general meeting and conference is scheduled to be held April 22nd to April 25th, 2026 in Thunder Bay. So this one also is open to all members because it's in Thunder Bay. So yes, I'm
I'm gonna try my best.
okay.
I'll go.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, yes, and yes. And further that the following council and or staff members will attend. Mayor Moffat, Councillor Hudson, Councillor Cottick, Councillor Rupp, Jolene Keo, CAO, all in favor? Carried.
Sorry,
Oh.
through the chair, we would need another counselor.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
Sorry. Additional councillor. Yes. Okay. Sorry, and also the next councillor, all in favor? Carried. Okay, moved by Councillor Cottick, second by Councillor Hudson, resolved that the 2026 Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, conference is scheduled to be held August 16th to August 19th, 2026 in Ottawa, Ontario. So again, myself. And no,
Probably not.
oh, not, okay.
It's really
CAO?
my
Yeah.
thoughts are that far out. I can't guarantee anything in August.
Okay. So myself,
Well, we could put you down,
CAO and
counselor, if you wanted to, and then you could just let us know closer to that time if you couldn't attend.
Okay, as long as no tickets are being purchased until we figure it out, cause I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
wanna.
just put the, yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, cause if not, the new person could sub in her also. So, okay. And further that the following council and or staff members will attend. Mayor Moffat, Jolene Keo, CAO, and Councillor Rupp, all in favor? Carried. Okay. We're done traveling. Okay, so moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Cottick. Whereas Mr. Santa Claus, herein referred to as Santa, delivers presents to many good children throughout the township of Manitowoc on the eve of December 24th into the early mornings of December 25th annually. And whereas Santa's services are deemed essential to the community well-being of residents of Manitowoc. And whereas Santa has confirmed that he and Mrs. Claus, along with all the elves, are ready to make their gift deliveries to the good children living in Manitowoc. And whereas Santa's sleigh has passed its annual inspection, all reindeers are fed and watered, and Rudolph's nose is shining bright. And whereas Santa has spoken with town council, the CAO, all department heads and staff to determine the best and safest route to take for his annual deliveries. And now therefore be it resolved that Santa may enter the homes of every child residing in the township of Manitowoc to deliver presents, provided that child's name is on Santa's nice list. And all children listen to their parents right up to December 24th. And a plate of goodies for both Santa and the reindeers available in every home. And all children are in the home and fast asleep when Santa arrives. All in favor? Carried. And Merry Christmas. The best resolution of the year. Okay. Where are we at? Going to bylaws, okay. Perfect, thank you. Moved by Councillor Coddick, second by Councillor Hudson. Being a bylaw to authorize a temporary borrowing of $1 million to be read a first and second time. And furthermore, be read a third time and passed and numbered as bylaw number 2025-52. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Moved by Councillor Hudson, second by Councillor Coddick. Being a bylaw to adopt a property standards officer, James Ray, be read a first and second time. And furthermore, be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2025-53. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Coddick, second by Councillor Hudson, being a bylaw to appoint an inspector for the purpose of enforcing the prescribed maintenance standard contained in Ontario Regulations 517/06 under the Residential Tenancy Act 2006 SO 2006 C17. James Ray, be ready first and second time. And furthermore, be ready third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2025-54. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Hudson, second by Councillor Coddick. Being a bylaw to appoint a weed inspector for the corporation of the Township of Manitouwadge be ready first and second time. And furthermore, be ready third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2025-55. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Coddick, second by Councillor Hudson. Being a bylaw to appoint a weed inspector for the corporation of the Township of Manitouwadge be ready first and second time. And furthermore, be ready third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2025-56. All in favor? Carried. That's it for bylaws. Okay, motions or notice of motions? None. Closed session. Moved by Councillor Coddick, second by Councillor Hudson. Whereas section 239(4) of the Municipal Act 2001 SO 2001 C25 provides that before holding a meeting or part of a meeting that is to be closed to the public, a municipality or local board or committee of either of them shall state by resolution the fact of holding of the closed meeting and the general nature of the matter to be considered at the closed meeting. Now therefore be it resolved that this meeting is hereby closed to the public as a subject matter being discussed falls under the following section. Section 239(2)B, personal matters about an identified individual, including municipal or local board employees. Staff matters. All in favor? Carried.